the first henchman, and certainly not the least interesting. This is Beastman, created by Mark Taylor, and ultimately designed by Mattel. Here is the original art. Of course, everyone remembers from the mini comics how he is originally composed in red. Though these are new, at least to me, the silver gauntlets, the green, very different. In the earlier years of 81, 82, Beastman was all red, all designed in red. Of course, the action figure would show that he is, and I don't even have to check, bright orange and the dark, with the dark mane in the center. And in the comics, he's portrayed as being the lackey, for lack of a better word, that he would assist Skeletor in capturing Teela, capturing Grayskull. He was the Lord of the Beast People, and that was true for many years. There he is again, trying to use the laser. So he wasn't the smartest bulb in the patch, but Beastman was tough, and he was strong, and he was fierce, and he was scary. But not too scary to be overpowered by He-Man as usual. Whether it was tricking other people like Ram Man, who eventually became a good guy, or trying to trick He-Man into killing the king, Beastman was always loyal and was never afraid. He could never pull his punches. Now, sadly, I cannot report there are too many versions of Beastman. However, there are different backstories. Most notably, I can remember the Filmation version, and he had different disguises. He would try to trick people. Both versions of the 2000X and the original Filmation would always try to manipulate Man-E-Faces when he was in beast mode or monster mode, because he could control anything. He's like, you will do as I say, Man-E-Faces. And he would try to get Man-E-Faces to take down Castle Grayskull. Though I don't remember this version too well other than what the Golden comic books were, or the Golden books, children's books. Beastman was called Biff Beastman. Of course, that's the name, right? And he was one of the 3 astronauts along with Triclops and Evil Lyn when Lyn was Lyn Powers, who came from Earth just like Marlena did. Marlena became the queen, and Biff Beastman turned into a beast. He mutated, which I think is probably going to be the backstory of Season 4 of He-Man. So in this version, this is from Germany, and long ago he was a scientist and forced to work for Skeletor until he discovered the Tablet of the Lost Mages. Realizing the dangers of the tablet could pose in the wrong hands, Beastman threw the tablet into a volcano. And when he refused to reveal the tablet to Skeletor, he attempted to force the information out of him with poison. The pain caused Beastman's mind to deteriorate, made him dumb, turning him into a willing servant for... This is a sad backstory here, so I thought this was very, very interesting, to say the least. Though he was fierce in battle, he wielded the whip. So this was just like a scientist gone wrong, which was sad. And here was the fierce Beastman from the Masters of the Universe movie. He was never in the future in outer space. For the most part, like, I enjoyed Beastman in the cartoons. In both the first 2 cartoons, so both in the 80s Filmation and then the 2000X. But I kind of took him for granted. Skeletor, right? He was just kind of that. But then this comic book came out, and I picked this up when it was brand new because Keldor was in this, and I thought this was really interesting, this one. And in this, we get a bit of a backstory concerning how did Beastman was just this incel monster that killed different beings, and both he and Keldor are eventually going to be taken into an arena for King Trinoc, which looked like Ganon, a bunch of pig people. And yeah, Beastman was just a monster. He's just ferocious. And this fight was really good. I've yet to see a Keldor action figure with that coat. Always without the coat, but it was a very amazing time. And the art was fantastic. I mean, this was his origins, right? And seeing that and Beastman, fantastic stuff. So you don't learn a whole lot, but you care about Beastman from this point on. And he stayed by Skeletor's side for a long while. And not until 2008 that we finally get a name for Beastman in the name of Rakul Rakaz, which is used later for the cartoon. Sported the fur. So he was so he's just complete asshole on the Berserker Islands. I do remember Berserker Islands as a backstory. Keldor became Skeletor. So he is just that first henchman. But it gives you a little bit of time did little to tame Beastman's wicked nature, as even in old age he reinstated Goatman to fight for him. Skeleton. So there's a lot of the backstories for these figures for the classics really gave you an insight, as well as those mini comics. In the 2015 issue of He-Man: The Eternity War, we see King He-Man, an alternate future where King He-Man and Teela live in peace. And you can see there's Panther. It's a very dark, twisted future in which He-Man gave up his Prince Adam identity. And in this future, Beastman is his henchman, just like Skeletor, except King He-Man is the boss now. But there was a terrorist attack, and Beastman could sense it. This is no child. And they figure it was a bomb, and she's like, death to the false king, death to the tyrant. Put her head on a spike right away, Majesty. Wow. And that's a very different thing. But he's much older here. So eventually in the story, King He-Man is killed by She-Ra, but that's the warning of when you have absolute power. In the latest action figure for New Eternia Beastman, it's revealed here that Shaman of the Seven Savage Tribes, Beastman defeated the mighty bear demon and earned the right to lead his people. Then they all disappeared, and he searches all corners of the planet for his tribe, and nothing can stop him, not He-Man or Skeletor. So he's kind of on his own. He's got his own thing going on. Here in the new cartoon, we see Rakaz, who doesn't look very interesting by himself. He was the leader of he had his own tribe going on. But he was the one that took away he declawed Cringer. And he's got all these different trophies of skulls of different animals. So he's already fierce, but he looks a little, he's a little more skinny and agile, right? But it isn't until he meets Skeletor that he's able to get that unique ability to become Ferocious Beastman. So however he started out, no different than here, from 81, Beastman is ferocious, and he will always be ferocious. And as you can see, his trophies right there adorning him. This was Beastman from 1981 to 2023.